Hi friends, welcome back to my channel. This is Carmen. If it's your first time here, welcome. Today I'm bringing you what I've been promising you in my 2020 wish list for Cacti and Succulent edition. And I'm out on the balcony today because that's where I have all my cacti and succulents. And it's kind of cold out here today. It's about 53 degrees or so, which I know may not sound all that cold, but for us Phoenix, it's cold, okay? I've got my coffee here to keep me warm, dug out a sweater, and I'm ready to go. So if you want to know what my 2020 list is for cacti and succulents, stay tuned. So for this list, I'm going to do it pretty much like I did for my houseplant edition. It's a realistic one. Meaning there aren't really any, except for one probably again, that are really rare or really super difficult to find. All of them are pretty much, I can find them online or local nurseries, okay? And it's kind of a mix of things, some cacti and some succulents. So for my first one, is the string of dolphins, or Senecio Peregrinus. And this one I think has been out maybe going on 2 years now, so they're starting to become a little bit more available. And these look a lot at first like the string of bananas, but when you look at them closer, they really do look like little dolphins with their little fins, you know. And it's a cross actually between a string of pearls and another Senecio. I'll put the pictures up here, that they came up with the string of dolphins. And I've seen them go now for about a 4-inch pot, about $15 or so. So that one I think has kind of peaked and is coming back down where it's more accessible and the price point is better. I'm really wanting to add more trailing or hanging plants to my balcony and my succulent collection. My string of bananas is doing so well, and I want to add the dolphins to it. I'm hesitant to get a string of pearls again because I haven't had much luck with them. It's 2 of them that I've tried, so maybe later in the year I may get one of those, but the string of dolphins is definitely on my list. Now, in keeping with the hanging succulents, this one I'll probably keep inside, but the string of hearts, and a lot of people have this one already. I've seen a 6-inch pot for $19 at a local nursery, the Ceropegia Woodii, and the variegated version is much more difficult and more expensive to come by, but I want the regular version. I did have this one once before that came to me, not in a pot, it was like just a ball of dirt and, you know, the strings, and it did not do well, and I wasn't able to save it. So that was a mail order. So I think for that one, the string of hearts, I'm going to try locally, already potted up, keep it inside, and I think it will do better. But I've seen them just grow so long and so beautiful. That's one that I really, really want to add. It doesn't necessarily look like a succulent, but it actually is, so it's one that watering is crucial to be careful of. So string of hearts is next on my list. Euphorbias are probably my most favorite genus of cacti and succulents. I have quite a few of them. I just love them. They have such a diversity of color, such a hardy plant. They can take full sun out here on the balcony, and you can even have them inside too as a house plant. Number 3 on my list is a Euphorbia Ingens, or Candelabra tree. Now this one is green, but the margins on it have like a brown on them, and in the springtime they get little yellow flowers on their margins, and I've seen them even at big box stores. Those can grow pretty tall, but obviously keeping them in a pot is going to limit the size that they're going to grow to maybe 5 or 6 feet, as opposed to out in the wild of, you know, 40 feet. And I really want to also add taller varieties to my balcony. I've got some tall plants here as far as euphorbias, but The Candelabra tree is one that I would like to add and let really grow tall, and one that I know will do well out on the balcony. And what would another euphorbia be without getting a variegated one? So Euphorbia Ammak variegated is one that I've been after for a while, but the prices have been kind of high, so I think finally they're starting to come down. And that variegation on it, compared to the margins being so dark, really just add such a nice contrast to it. And those can take full sun also, which a lot of variegated plants cannot take full sun because it just burns them. But that one can, so it will be a really wonderful addition to my balcony. And those also get little flowers on them, and I think, obviously being potted, I can control the height of them, where normally they would go to 20 feet, you know, I can keep it around 3 or 4 feet. So the variegated Euphorbia Ammak. Now, my Sansevieria collection is probably, next to Euphorbias, is my next favorite. You know, I have the cylindricals and, you know, the moonshine here. I mean, I don't have to really think about taking care of these plants. They're just so easy. You know, you neglect them and they actually do better when you neglect them. But the next couple are Sansevierias that I would like to add, and that is the Sansevieria whalefin, or the Masoniana. I'm looking at my computer here so I can get the names right. Masoniana. And you know, normally Sansevierias have all these leaves on them. That one is so striking with just one leaf on it. I mean, it's so cool. It's like, I don't need a bunch of leaves. I'm cool with just one leaf, you know? And it's just so striking with just that one leaf. It's a slow grower. It'll get other leaves, but it's a slow grower, but it still has that hardiness and easy maintenance of the Sansevieria genus. And that one is, I think, probably coming down from its peak. I've sourced a couple of local nurseries that have it for a reasonable price, so not hard to get a hold of. It's just a matter of finding the right one for the right price. So the Sansevieria whalefin is the next succulent on my list. The next Sansevieria is actually opposite of that, in the sense that it is small, compact. I mean, it doesn't grow much more than 5-6 inches. And that's a Sansevieria samurai, or the Ehrenbergii. And the Sansevieria samurai is such a unique plant with, you know, the way that it crisscrosses. The leaves are very hard and pointy and sharp. That's where it gets the samurai name from. But it's a very compact one, so you can have it inside and as a house plant, or outside, you know, with your other, in the winter and springtime. I bring my Sansevierias outside on the patio, and the rest of the year, and when it's really hot, I keep them inside. But I could easily keep them outside all year long. But that samurai, it's such a beautiful, compact little plant. Again, with the low maintenance that Sansevierias are known for, but it's great for a small space because it won't take up a lot of room. You can have it on a shelf, and it'll look wonderful. So the Sansevieria samurai is my next one. Okay, now we're moving into cacti. And this one is probably the one that is on my list that is going to be the hardest for me to find, because I don't think it's quite peaked yet as far as popularity and accessibility. And that's the Cereus, Spiralis Forbesii, or the spiraling cactus. I've looked at local nurseries, and even down in Tucson, haven't been able to find it. And I've even been told by someone on a Facebook group that they saw it at a local swap meet in Mesa, which I'm gonna check out. You know, I'll leave no stone unturned. But that one is still pretty rare, and it's such a beautiful cacti, the way it just spirals up. yeah, out in nature, it'll get different columns coming out of it, or branches coming out of it, so it looks very cool and has a brilliant white flower on it, and I'll show you some pictures here of that. But it's just so cool the way it just spins. And I have seen some of them. I saw another YouTuber where it was turning one way and then it kind of stopped and began growing and turning the other way. So that is a really cool thing for a plant to do. So the Cereus Spiralis, the Cereus Spiralis Forbesii. So the next one on my list is the rattail cactus, and it's definitely not one that I want because of its name, rattail cactus, but I want it because, you know, it is an epiphyte, so it's a little bit different, and it's a hanging plant, so it's trailing, and, you know, the branches aren't particularly fascinating or anything, but it is the bright pink flowers it gets in the springtime. They're kind of a tubular pink flower, and so you know, they'll attract bees and hummingbirds and things like that. So it just makes it such a striking plant. You know, it has these plain branches coming off it, and then bam, these bright pink flowers on it, which is really a unique plant, and it's not that hard to get. I have not seen them in big box stores, but I know they are available in some of the local nurseries here. So the rattail cactus is the next one. Now my list would not be complete if I did not have at least one Echeveria on it, and this is the Echeveria gibiflora carunculata, and it's the warty Echeveria, and it's named that because on its leaves it has these bumps on it because they kind of look like warts. It's kind of weird looking, and it's just really cool. No leaf is exactly the same. All the warts obviously are going to be different patterns and such. They get very, very wide. The plant itself, the rosette, can grow to at least, you know, a foot across. Some of them can even have crinkly edges on the leaves, on the leaf margin. When it's stressed in the sun or in cold, it will get a brilliant maroon or pink even. So all of those things combined make for such a beautiful Echeveria. You know, a lot of times Echeverias are small, delicate little plants, succulents, but this one is bam, in your face, and, you know, showing off all its warts and everything. And it's such a unique plant. I have seen the crinkly leaf kind at the big box store, but they didn't have the warts on them. Or maybe they hadn't developed them yet, because the warts do come a little bit later in the leaf life cycle. So, you know, I may go back and check. But it's really incredible Echeveria statement succulent that you can have by itself in a container and not necessarily in an arrangement. So Echeveria gibiflora carunculata, or warty Echeveria. Now my last one, I'm going to end it off with another Euphorbia. I couldn't help myself. The Euphorbia Zig Zag Pseudocactus. And this one is because of its pattern on the branches. Such a unique pattern, almost looks like an X-ray or something like that, like it's glowing or something. And it grows in such different directions. It can grow even to a bush form if you let it, or you can cut it and train it more columnar and upright as opposed to a bush. But it's such a unique looking plant, and you know, I don't often see patterns like that on branches of any cacti or any succulent, but that Euphorbia has it, and that's the last one that I want for my 2020 wish list. And as you can see, it's not a, you know, oh my gosh, those are all so rare. Maybe the Spiralis cactus is, but all the other ones are definitely ones that I can find in online, local nurseries, things like that. And I think they're going to be just beautiful additions to my patio, my balcony out here, and really grow my collection even more. If you have any of these friends, succulent or cacti, please let me know down below. Any suggestions that you may have of ones that I may have missed that are similar to these that you think that I would like. Again, please let me know. And the next video is going to be a balcony tour, so stay tuned for that. Okay, so that is it for today. It's New Year's Eve day. Have a very safe and wonderful New Year's Eve and a wonderful New Year's Day and a Happy New Year, friends. Be blessed. Have a great day.